Shawty got loud, 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 loud. Shawty got loud, 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 loud. Shawty got loud, 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 loud. Shawty had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. She got the whole club looking at her, and she hit the floor. The next thing you know, yeah, she hit the floor. Shawty got low, low, low. And them baggy sweatpants and the Reeboks with the straps. She turned around and gave that big booty a smack, and she hit the floor. The next thing you know, she hit the floor. Shawty got low, low, low. Shawty got loud, loud, loud. Shawty got loud, 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 loud. With the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. With the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. With the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Low, low, low. Low, 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 low.
Low, low, shawty got low, yeah. Low, low, shawty got low. She hit the floor. Low, low, shawty got low. She hit the floor. Low, low, shawty got low. Low, low, shawty got low. Low, low, shawty got low. She had the apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur. Yeah, the whole damn club, they was looking at her. She got the baggy sweatpants, Reeboks with the straps. Where she turned around and gave that booty a smack. She hit the floor. Low, low, shawty got low. She hit the floor. Low, low, shawty got low. Low, low, shawty got low. Low, low, shawty got low. Shawty got low. Reeboks with the straps. Well, she turned around and gave that booty a smack. She hit the floor. Low, low, shawty got low. 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 Shawty got low, yeah. Low, low, shawty got low. 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 Low, low, shawty got low.
delivery. Go and throttle up.
Well, hello. How's everybody doing today? Good, bad? Make with a 98-month resub. Thanks, man. Alright. Oh boy, it's gonna take a second for me to wake up. It's been a weird week, man. For whatever reason, my brain this week just decided that, hey, EJ. I'm like, yes, brain. You know your bedtime's 4 a.m. now, right? And I'm like, no, 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. is what it was before. Can we just do that? No. So that's how my week is going. So that's good. I did manage to get more than 4 hours of sleep last night, so that's good. I got that going for me, which is nice. FYI, the new F1 manager is much more of a challenge than last year's, and the new helmet view is gorgeous. That's very compelling. Still not buying it. One does not simply play a quick session at Satisfactory. Well, we'll jump right into it and go from there. I just wanted to make sure that the smelters that we made were working. Everything was working correctly. The giant hole in your chest is it? Oh, sorry. I was Happy Christmas in July.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Just chromaed it out a little bit. Alright. Hey Reaper, 36 months. Can we go to sleep at 11 p.m.? And best I can do is 4. I'm like, hey Frank, you wanted, we were going to bed at 11. We actually got a pretty decent sleep schedule going. No. You're going to sleep at 4. It is Rage. Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought it was way in Yutani Corp. No, just Nakatomi. Where am I? Alright, so, yeah, see that big gray thing that looks like a giant foundry? That's what it is. Is such a thing even possible? Well, yes it is. It's the thing bursting out. Yeah, I got the memo. So half of the stuff I don't even remember making because we did it so quickly. Ooh, the lighting came out freaking mint, dude. Yes. Oh, nice. So what happened yesterday? I'm still missing 4 hours of Satisfactory VOD. I don't know. There's signs. Grab shark. Orange railing. Orange railing. Orange railings! Orange railings bad. Not bad. No, orange team bad. Animal. Orange team bad. I haven't forgot about that. Orange team bad. You know what you did. Oh, I forgot to do the gantry crane. Whoops. Yeah, my foundry has gantry cranes. So what? I forget how I made it. Wait, you said no smoke inside buildings. This is an open air building. Chief. Yeah, I wanted to make like an open air foundry style building. So the smoke kind of goes into the vents. So I actually was looking at pictures of smelters, right? Like actual smelters, and most of them are in a vented structure with a curved roof like that. Smelters are rarely outside. So, I made a smelter. And look, see? Look, we got a gantry crane in here. Yeah, see? And I even did the rails for said crane. So, I kind of amended my rules just a little bit. Saying, instead, foundries and smelters need a certain type of building. Did lighting just change? No, we're good. What do you think? Does it look the part? I tried to make the lighting look. We have very warm lighting being done with the signs. It looks like it's hot in here. Actually, there's not enough haze for it to really look like it's too hot in here. But with the smoke of all the smelters, then maybe. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go through and make sure that all this stuff is working. And it is. Yeah, see, right there, we caught the haze perfect for a second. Dude, even the smoke, the way the smoke billows, looks like it's going out the roof, which is actually pretty cool. Now let them give us pistons for elevators and cranes. Indeed. Yeah. We could do with some detail work around the edge here, but... Uh-oh. Really, really not bad. Physical structures would be a whole new challenge. Yeah. Alright. What I didn't finish up was the input belts. I already have everything hooked up for these. So should be easy to just... Okay. Yeah, just finishing... This is the part that I didn't get to. We have the smelters outputting the belts, but yeah, I finished all the main structure for them, but we have to... We have to connect them. There's aluminum on the bottom, caterium on the top. Okay. Please tell me I did that. Please tell me I did that. Oh, that would have sucked. Okay. Just gonna hook up the belts and then go. But yeah, this is the smelter array. There's two of them. One's for aluminum, one's for caterium, and they're just cranking out ingots. We'll put the foundries down there. I hope that we have enough space, because the foundries ended up being quite large. What the hell's that? Did you see qualifying? Hey, someone. No. Dude, I haven't really watched much Formula 1 lately. It's just... Yeah, haven't really watched much. Foundries came out good, though. And someone, thanks for listening to me yesterday. I was a little pissed off, to say the least. Thanks for listening. I was mad yesterday. But new day, turn the page. But yeah, boss, big props to you for the atmosphere for the smelter. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Tessa. It looks good, right? Like, I think it came out okay. I just wanted to finish up the stuff that I kind of half-assed yesterday. I wanted to put a door right here just because that's the direction that we're going to be coming from most likely when we get up on there. How's the smelter going to mesh with the main factory? Is it going to feed? I already have the feeder belts made. I just literally have to connect them in. And I needed to make the passageway to do it. That's all. And then... it's the 2-meter sign. The 2-meter sign is actually really good at making half walls. See? Half wall. And then we'll put a door right here. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't totally have the inputs done, someone, but yeah. So here, take these and just and then get rid of the image, and you can make a pretty nice wall. There. It's not the best, but it works. Yeah, you can see through. Yeah. What factories do you build in this game? Coltech, it's kind of like Factorio. Smelters, foundries, assemblers, constructors, manufacturers. It really depends on what you're feeding and stuff, but you can make all kinds of cool stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not... I'm not going to say that it's not realistic, but it's not like... It's not like you're... It's... I'm not going to say this is like realistic manufacturing. There is some stuff, but... Like, you need carbon and iron ingots to make steel. But this is very futuristic manufacturing. But it still is fun. The logistics and the belts and stuff is enough to have some fun with it. It is very addicting, yeah. So, check this out. We have Caterium ore and aluminum scraps coming in, and aluminum ingots and Caterium ingots. There they are, coming out. There we go. Now if we go down here, oh yeah, we're still syncing. We're syncing everything. But check this out. I have belts here. So those top three, that's silica, rubber, and plastic, and then aluminum and Caterium. Those ones are gonna go, those belts are gonna go all the way around here. Hi, Frank. Actually, Frank's going towards it. And then over here, I have my main input to my new factory right here. Hey, Loopy, thanks for the raids. Pop, how you doing? Are you satisfied yet? I'm getting there. And then I kind of marked where everything needs to go. I have all 5 of the main feeding ingots in here. And then we have sulfur up there. The sulfur line doesn't exist yet. It's going to need to actually go like through that bridge right there and come in. You need a dedicated line for sulfur. There is a sulfur deposit up there. It's up around the corner over that ridge. And we have to find a way to feed it. I had to delete the old sulfur line, which is like from update 2 or something. Look at how much it's clipping into the rocks and stuff. I had to get rid of it to make the foundry. And then I had to move a couple of my power poles too. I mean, you could make the argument that these power poles are still way too close to a foundry, but that's okay. You sound a tad tired. I am, Hillness. I've been suffering from the... Not suffering, I'm just working through the nastiest insomnia. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's coming from. Like, it seems stress-induced. It seems like the insomnia is stress-induced, but I have nothing to be stressed out about. So, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know why I'm getting so stressed out about things, but It is what it is. Maybe the tooth. That probably has something to do with it, someone. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that doesn't bother me. I didn't think it would bother me as much as it actually does. Like, I'm like, okay, it's gone, so what? But, you know, your tongue, you put your tongue that, the gap where it is, and you're like, oh. But I don't know if that's like the whole deal, you know? Who knows? It still sucks. Brush your teeth, guys. Trust me on that one. Don't be stupid. The tooth and maybe the time away from streaming. Alex, I'd say the time away from streaming is probably what's getting me the worst. But I don't know, man. It ain't any different than... It ain't any different than, you know, any other time I've taken time off. It's just, yeah. I feel like putting a bridge in here. I'm gonna have to move that ramp. I wanted to make this all accessible via truck. So, I've been trying... That's not what I want. That's not what I'm aiming at. Sometimes the brain just has dark spells. Some people get them bad. Yeah, no, it's just, yeah, it's very strange. Like, I'm good. I honestly have nothing to be stressed about. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna write it off. It's something that should be... You should probably figure out why, but it's alright. I'll work through it. I'll figure it out. I'm a big boy. I am a big boy. Yeah, for whatever reason, my brain's just like, hey, you know, your new bedtime's 4 a.m., right? And I'm like, I don't want this. And it's like, oh, too bad. I'm like, thanks, brain. Really could have done without that. Are you still exercising? Yeah, Hillness, actually... I mean, this is probably not a good thing, but, dude, I've lost 15 pounds since I started. I don't like telling people about it, because if you tell people about it, then you're gonna be like, you know, you're gonna set weird expectations. So, I'm not gonna lie to you, though, and this is the reason why this is kind of bad. I started losing weight, right? But then, you know, and that's good, right? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the vast majority of it didn't come from getting a nasty infection. And then having my tooth removed, I couldn't eat anything. I've been basically eating soft foods, yogurt, smoothies, stuff like that. Coincidentally, those are good for you, I guess. I mean, they are. And yeah, I don't, no chips. Can't eat chips. I can't. It'll pierce it, and that's it. So I've been eating yogurt and smoothies and like mac and cheese and rice. There's not much else I can do when you have a bad surgical wound in your mouth, right? Like, so yeah, that and like having a nasty infection and then just kind of being a little more active. Yeah. I was 240 on the scales this morning. I was 258 when I was like, I gotta go outside and do stuff. Just dissolve the chips in Mountain Dew. I also intermittently fast. You don't see me eat on stream anymore. Ever. If you have a family history of diabetes, get checked for that. My dad thought he was just getting in shape, but then he went to the doctor for something unrelated, and his blood sugar was like a bajillion times what it should be. Yeah, no, Loopy, you're absolutely right, but that's not it. Dude, I go to the doctor every month for a checkup every month. The reason why is because sitting down for long periods of time is notoriously bad for your cardiovascular system. Or just, well, not cardiovascular, just your vascular system. It's bad for your heart. It's very bad because you're pinching your femoral arteries. That's not good. And that's not for me. That's not something I read on the internet. That's my doctor saying, like, you shouldn't do that. Like, and if you do, we gotta check your blood like every month. And that was a long time ago. I've been just doing it ever since. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that's the reason why I go get checkups all the time. So standing desk when? I don't want to do a standing desk. And I thought he needed glasses when he was getting old, but no. Once he got his blood sugar in check, prescription was completely out of whack. Yeah, dude, the other thing is that when you have, like, exposed nerves, you can feel sugary stuff rotting your teeth. Like, you could feel it, like, just...
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. You can absolutely feel it, and it's disgusting. And, like, I was drinking, like, Mountain Dew yesterday, right, because I didn't have anything else, but I cut out soda. I really do not drink it. Hey, yes, what's going on? Be careful on the roads today, man, okay? Hey, Ren gifted a sub to King. Thank you. I call it the Coke effect. Your teeth feel kind of fuzzy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's gross. It's disgusting, Tessa. I really, yeah. I felt it when I had, I still have a chipped tooth over here. Aside from the one that they just pulled out. Like, and it has an exposed nerve. The root of the tooth is exposed, and it's an awful feeling drinking soda. And I don't think I'll ever, like, not feel that again. Like, I'll never drink soda and not be like, oh, this is terrible for you. Yeah. So, take that for what it's worth. Oh yeah, Pythos, I've also become, like, anal retentive about cleaning my teeth. A long time ago, when I had another root canal done on another tooth, I got stuff stuck in it, like stuck in the cavity, and ever since then, I can't stand stuff stuck in my teeth. It's awful. It's the worst feeling ever. Like, I hate it. So I, like, religiously hit the water pick, brush my teeth, mouthwash, everything. Like, I don't. The hell with that. And that's what I mean. Like, I didn't always take care of my teeth, but now I do. Floss. I don't floss. I use a water pick. Of course, it's a little hydraulic sprayer. Like, you spray high pressure water in between. So if you brush and then you hit the water pick, it flosses for you. It uses hydraulic pressure to push the crap out. Super, super, super nice. That it makes flossing not a complete pain in the butt. Yep, engine is running a little hot, so I took a break and got Subway. Yes, the engine's running hot because it's hot out. Okay, that's all. Don't. So it's all good. I hate this Flykin. I hate it. I've watched it for 5 seconds and I hate it. Yeah, the water pick basically, it takes like 30 minutes of flossing and condenses it down probably into about 2 minutes. Yeah, really easy. Just literally go around the horn a couple times. Easy peasy. It's a freaking joke comparatively. It is a yoke. You didn't get to the F-16 Penguins. I don't want this. During ads, get up and walk around. King, I usually just do that like after or before streams, but yes, yeah, there's ways to do it, absolutely. Yeah, so, yeah, no, 240 pounds on the scales. That's the lowest I've been in a long time, and I'm not stopping. During the ads, I take a nap. Yeah, like during ads, go up and get a drink or something, or just stand up like I do. You know, like you should get a second run that you run carb cleaner through to clean smaller car parts better. That's a really good idea. I'm not sure how carb cleaner is gonna fare going through the water pick though. But I mean, I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think that would be that big of a deal. The real 5-head strat is to use a water pick with mouthwash. I could cut mouthwash in there. Sure. Yeah, Hillness, that's... Yeah, I don't know. Just buy a cheap knockoff one from from Beef Jesus. I also wanted to do an individual control room for each line, but I ended up just putting them next to each other. And then we have our overhead service gantries, and then I found that literally like every smelter, steel mill, anything that's doing some heavy industrial manufacturing has an overhead gantry crane. Like, it's not something I didn't know, but I decided to put one in. And I have the rails over on the other side here for another one. I'm gonna put it down there. Yeah, I guess it's for lifting the cauldrons. That's not what they're called. Was this all built yesterday? Yes, Plums. I cranked this out all yesterday. I came up with the design. We did the prefabs for it. Yeah, I did a lot of work. Crucibles, that's what it's called, not a cauldron. It's freaking medieval. Yeah, those are the two smelter lines. Okay, let's see if we can get like a nice overhead view of this. And then the foundries are gonna go right in that open spot right there. It's gonna get a little busy, a little crowded. This is for the people that have been watching this save for a long time, so people that have been following Satisfactory for a good while. This is where my coal mine was, where the coal smelters were here a long time ago. Yeah, see, there's a couple of pieces that I didn't do. This might be a stupid question, but why do people back in the day use gasoline to clean things? What Loopy said. Gasoline, yeah, it is very good at, it's like paint stripper, dude. You can use, I mean, Flagon, don't do this, but if you took gasoline and you poured it all over a car and just left it there, there would be no paint on the car the next day. Oh yeah, it's a pretty strong solvent, yeah. Do you have the hovercraft unlocked? I have it unlocked, I haven't made it. Yeah, Diet Coke. One time I used Diet Coke to clean the rust off of a trailer hitch, and then I decided to never drink Diet Coke again. Because it's the phosphorus. Phosphorus is, yeah. Like the Bluesmobile, yeah. Diet Coke! It will clean out your insides, yeah. So yeah, there's my foundries. I think We got to do something with this side of the foundries. It's very bland looking. I don't like it. See how this has this nice texture on it? And even then, though, the X crossbars are a little bit... They may have been a little bit over the top. According to a friend of our family who does police-related stuff, Diet Coke is a great way to clean up blood, dried or not, from concrete and stuff. I mean, someone, if it can chemically debond iron oxide from iron, yeah, I'd believe that. Just window walls would do it. Window walls? I didn't really notice that there isn't many windows in any foundries or anything. But, okay. I kind of think, I'm not really liking how the belt configuration kind of came out, but I mean, I don't really drink much soda anymore. Primo's family brought us Faygo from the wedding, and even then, like, it's delicious, but it's so damn sugary, and like, I love it, don't get me wrong, it's awesome to have it, but it's so damn sugary, dude. Yeah, see, like, I could do a detail pass in here. There's stuff that's just very bland. See, it's just a lot of open space here. Weird question, but why can't we use cold welding? Why can't we use the cold welding we get in space from two metals with no oxide layer rubbing against each other on Earth? Or is that basically how stir welding works? Why can't we use the cold welding we get in space from two metals with no oxide layer rubbing against each other on Earth? What? Can you rephrase that, someone? Are you saying why can't we weld in space? Welding in space is a little bit complicated, dude. There's no place for the heat to go. You have to find a way to get rid of all the heat. Now, I mean, think about it. You go to weld something, you're arcing electricity through flux, right? And it melts it. That heat won't go anywhere. It'll stay in the metal and it'll just warp it. It doesn't matter if it's steel, it doesn't matter if it's aluminum, titanium, whatever. With that being said, there has been welding demos in space. The Soviet Union did it in the 80s. The first female to EVA ever. Beats Catherine Sullivan in the 80s. She was a cosmonaut. I forget her name, and forgive me for doing that. She did a weld test. Yeah, there's the heat. There's no way to get rid of the heat. That's the problem. He's basically talking about stir welding. I know. I mean, I know, Tessa. Stir welding also creates heat. Yeah, no, I got you. Rephrase. On one of the Mercury or Gemini missions that was supposed to do EVA, the door hinges welded themselves shut because there wasn't an oxide layer between parts of the hinge, and so the metals fused, I think. Huh. Really? I'm not familiar with that, dude. I'd have to go read about that. That's... Huh. That's weird. Cold welding is actually pretty wild. Cold welding requires incredibly precise control of the storage, surface finish, and temper. Yeah, Pray, my understanding for welding in space is that the limitations are basically, it's not like, what's the word? It's the heat, dude. You can't control the heat flux. So that's like our super big limitation. That, and it's hard to weld with boxing gloves on. But I don't know, maybe like a laser sinter 3D printer, thingamajigger might do it. Who knows? Hey, Phone Sister, how you doing? Hey, Firebird, 30-month resub. That's a long time. Yeah, it is. That's not supposed to be there. Yeah, see, I just wanted to go over this and clean up any... I don't know what the hell's wrong with that thing. It's orange. Just connect it to the ISS via a rad copper strap. It'll be fine. Looks like we didn't need this outer edge here. I'm just going to get rid of it. Shot. 2 metal ends would need to be perfectly flat, perfectly polished, and probably the same phase. I don't think austenite to martensite would fuse very well. That sounds about right. I mean, I honestly forget the difference between austenite and martensite, but yeah, good question nonetheless, someone. Yeah, you know, maybe we'll go read about welding in space a little bit later. Well, austenitic and what is that? What is the second one? I know that austenitic is a property of, that's like a property of metal. Not property of metal. I'm not using the right term. I know I'm not. That's not right. I know that's not right. I just couldn't tell you why. Do I have a welder? I have a 120 amp flux welder, right? It's not gas. It's just a straight flux welder. It's okay. Geek used it to help me fix the truck during those streams, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I'd like to wrench with Geek more. Fun to wrench with someone, man. Austenite is high temp iron, like iron at 1000 C. You get martensite. Martensite is when you quench the steel. Yeah, see, there's some terminology here, Shaw, that I'm not like too familiar with. Because I remember we've read about austenitic metals before. Yeah. Martensitic steels are indeed more brittle. Interesting. Exchange ductility for greater strength. So it's austenitic, like, isn't necessarily a property of metal, right? Am I understanding this right? It's something that you can, like, you can induce on metals, but certain metals are more austenitic or martensitic than others. Like, but you can change that, right? Because metallurgy. Don't we have a friend who studied math, science, and metals? Transistor, yeah, I mean, there's, the reason why I'm asking is because I know there's plenty of people here that know more about it than I do. And, you know, surround yourself with smarter people. That's what I always try to do. That's how we learn, dudes. Hey, Creeper, what's going on, buddy? But I don't have a PhD. I'm not that smart. That guy's a really smart dude. He's smart. Apparently cold welding is a problem that satellite builders have to contend with. Yeah, I mean... Hellfish, is it... Would it... Okay, another question. A problem... Is it a... They have to contend with that problem because you're running electrical current and stuff up, and also is it more because of the electrical, or is it more because of the physical conditions? I would think it's probably physical conditions more than electrical, but yeah, you're gonna have to take that stuff into account, right? Like, you have to. Good conversation. I need to learn more about welding. Blue flare welding is cool. I really want to pick up welding as a side hustle, just because it's always better to know a trade. In this day and age, being handy is a very, very useful skill. I have a very particular set of skills. Skills that I've acquired over a very long career. Like, I want to take welding courses. Can you imagine how anal retentive I'd be with welds? If I, like, actually learn it and get better at it? That... Ooh. I'm talking about those Instagram welds, you know what I'm saying? There doesn't need to be a railing here. There's no fall. You'd be determined to do tie welds. Yeah. Galileo's high gain antenna has been attributed to it. High gain antenna loss. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you don't even think about it. Like, the material science behind this. It's the thermals. We've read. I mean, we know about the thermal radiation and stuff. Like, and how it's deadly for spacecrafts. Like, back in the day, dudes. During the, like, shuttle missions, I've talked about this before. During the shuttle missions, you lose the coolant, that's it. The shuttle has 4 radiators built into the inside of the payload bay doors. Opening up the payload bay doors on the shuttle were absolutely essential to a mission. If the payload bay doors don't open, come back down immediately because you're about to die. Yeah, the spacecraft will literally melt itself from the inside out. Austenitic versus martensitic is a property of the alloy. Stainless steels like 304 and 316 are austenitic due to how their elements form a crystal structure. Stainless steels like 410 or 17-4 have different alloying elements that make the crystal structure distinctly different and harder. Don't take courses, just do it. I mean, XJ, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, if I don't go buy a MIG welder and we literally do a stream where I have chat looking over my shoulder, I guarantee you we would, with this chat, I guarantee you we'd be welding good within a couple weeks. Like, this chat's a lot of things, you know, but I'm pretty damn sure if I did something like that, like, because welds are something that are very easy to see that, like you said, they're very easy to see that you've gone wrong. You're absolutely right. Yeah, so, yeah, with you guys looking over my shoulder, I'm pretty sure we could get that right pretty damn fast. Like, I'd basically say, backseat the frick out of me. Backseat the frick out of this welding. We're not playing welding simulator, we're playing welder. This is for reading about austenitic versus martensitic. I mean, it's like a lot of different things, dude. Guys, I have a lot of encyclopedic knowledge, right? Like, I can recall stuff no problem, alright? Like, dictionary, like, I know that. And that takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of practice, you know, remembering all that stuff, keep your brain sharp, etc., etc. With that being said, great, you know theoreticals, that's fine, and then there's actually going and doing it. That's something I've been trying to fix for years. Like, I know all this stuff, but I can't do anything with it. Like, I know how the space shuttle works, but could I go and, like, so here's a big one, and this is why this was such a big victory for me. Like, I can sit here and I can tell you how every single component on an automobile, on my truck, works. I know what every single piece of, like, the reason why every single bolt is there, what it does, why it's there, how it got there, how to install it, etc. Well, not how to install it, but yet the truck sat there for 10 years, right? Over time, though, I've been learning that stuff. I've been learning the hands-on stuff. I've been learning that, and that's a good thing. You know, like, I know the theoretical, but yeah, great, that's theoretical. That's not going to get you anywhere if you don't know how to do it, right? Like, for instance, you guys remember that stream where I was super tired and I didn't use the file correctly? Like, I was filing front to back because my brain was paced and I forgot how to do it. So I was like, man, this feels right. No, that's not right at all. Chat gave me so much crap over it, dude, but You know, like, oh well. Now I know how to file stuff correctly. See, that's what I mean about getting that hands-on stuff. You got to get that hands-on training. But do you dream about Satisfactory? No. Dude, math. I can't believe that. That was really funny, actually. Like, I was embarrassed as hell at the time, but that was really freaking funny. Like, hey, I did what he said. See, that's what I mean. You know, you can sit here and have encyclopedic knowledge about everything, but if you don't actually know how it goes and works in the real world, what's all that learning for? It's for nothing. You know, it's important to know this stuff. Someone, you just read up on it. Okay, what's up? I'm just modifying the platforms around here. I want to make this more vehicle accessible. Like, so I don't have to just run and jump all the way up here. I want to make it so I can get a truck up here if I need to. Why? I don't know. Probably just a good capability to have. Okay, I read up on it. The idea that the hinges on Gemini cold welded contact welding was just a theory. As it turns out, it was just getting some gears messed up. I was gonna say, I've never heard about stuff like cold welding like that. I've never heard of that happening. But yeah, well, good to know. Hey, Fundingo, what's going on? Go here. Good trick. Store all. Go over here. Take all. I'm just moving this extra sulfur around. Just pick up that container, and now I got my entire inventory back. Have I seen Oppenheimer yet? I saw it last weekend, Def. I love it. It's an awesome movie. There's so many subtle nods to the Manhattan Project, and yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I saw Barbie right before it, too. I didn't mind Barbie. It's definitely not Oppenheimer, you know. Smelter disconnected circuit 2. Okay. Hey, Bree. And mining equipment is 3. And that's all wired up, right? Yes, it is. Okay. What do you mean about subtle nods? Wie geht's? Nothing. Just, I wanted to look over all the stuff that I spent way too much time last night making. Yeah, looks good. This stuff came out quite nice. Yeah, I didn't. I kind of had to miss like the end of the Barbie movie, dudes. But it was pretty funny up until then. Like, I mean, people are trying to get some type of poignant message out of the Barbie movie. It's a movie about toys. So I don't know. It's like I looked at the Barbie movie the same way that I looked at the movie Gravity. You guys remember Gravity? Gravity is a space thriller. It's a thriller movie that takes place in space. Okay? It's important to understand that. Right? And it's not, if you just kind of suspend disbelief for a little while, it's an awesome thriller movie. Really, really good. I mean, but if you looked at it from a technical standpoint, you're going to be a little upset. A little upset, to say the least. It's not very technically accurate, and a lot of that turned off a lot of people to it. But honestly, it's a great thriller movie. You gotta kind of, I mean, the Barbie movie doesn't take itself too seriously, so I don't think people need to either, you know, like. So I liked it, and I enjoyed Oppenheimer. It was a great movie. Neil deGrasse Tyson looked at it that way. Yeah, I mean, that guy's pretty smart, so. Is it true that Barbie kind of has a Scott Pilgrim vibe to it? It's, I actually, and don't get me wrong, this isn't my opinion. I read this on, I think it was on Twix or whatever. The Barbie movie is just a Lego movie with Barbies. It's a movie about toys that come from a ideal utopian world, and they end up being forced to deal with like real life problems. It's literally the Lego movie. Right down to the songs about like everything being awesome. Oh, hey, Bree. What's up?
Nothing. I wanted to talk to you. I haven't talked, like, we've both been so busy. I haven't had a chance to talk to you.
Oh, hello.
So I just wanted to come in and say hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
My meeting went well, so that was good.
Is it the meeting for that thing?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
It went awesome. Yeah.
Good. Cool. Very neat.
How are you?
I'm alright. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's all. I'm
Alright.
tired. I need a second to wake up and have coffee.
You got coffee?
Yeah, I do.
Alright.
I got it, and yeah. I got a message back from
Oh.
that guy.
Okay.
So,
All good?
yeah, everything's good.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, it felt bad. But yeah, no, I'm just tired because, you know, you know what? That's the reason, guys. That's the reason why I haven't been getting much sleep. Rocket launches.
Yeah.
There's been a rocket launch scheduled for 11 p.m. the last 4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And we've only seen one rocket launch.
I know, that's why I miss you, because you're not coming, like...
Yeah, there you go. Please let Brimo know that I am enthusiastically waving to her.
Hi.
She's enthusiastically waving back.
Alright, well...
Yeah, no, everything's good.
Alright, cool.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome!
The Barbie movie is literally the Lego movie. Think about it.
It's not exactly kid-friendly, so...
They're both about toys having to deal with an existential crisis. And they both start in a utopian world where there's a temporal rift between their utopian world and the real world. And then the main character, who is idealized by being a optimistic person, is introduced to a cynical world. It's literally the same movie.
I feel like there are subtleties that description doesn't capture. And they're very important subtleties.
She's
Alright.
wearing the merch.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like gonna be 90 here, so... I do the eat, sleep, watch, repeat.
What does that have to do with temperature?
Because usually I'm in a hoodie.
Is it a comfortable shirt?
It is a
Is that why you're
shirt.
wearing it today? It's
Yes.
super comfortable.
Are we still selling them? I don't even know anymore. I don't even keep track, to be honest.
Was the gazebo rescue successful? It's still where we left it yesterday
Yeah.
from Dingo, so...
Did EJ tell you what we think happened with the... So it's got 4, like, curtains on it that you can close. And
Yeah.
we had 3 of them closed and 1 of them open. And I think it just blew the closed part and tipped it because aerodynamics and things. So we made sure we opened them all up and we put we zip tied pavers to the feet.
Yeah, there's like curtains on our gazebo, and yeah, three of them were closed, and one facing the house was open, and the tent actually the gazebo flipped over towards the house. So it sounds like one of the meshes, wind pushed on it, and it
Come sail away, come sail away.
Yeah,
come sail away with me.
the load-induced wind caused it to flip over. It turned into a giant parachute. Yep. Dude, Will Ferrell is freaking Lord Business in Barbie too. Yep. Yep. Literally the same character. Weird, right?
Have you been screaming?
What?
Your voice sounds tired.
We got a little fun. We had a little bit of fun on stream last night. We were singing apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's all.
All right,
wanted
baby.
to check in with you.
Yeah, everything's good. It's been a weird week.
I know.
Because, yeah. Launches and whatnot.
Elon do be like that.
Yeah, even then, Falcon Heavy might not go tonight.
Oh, Jesus. Just send your rocket!
You can't, it's weather.
God! It'll be fine!
That usually doesn't end well
I know.
with rockets.
But that's what I want to call Elon sometimes and tell them.
Okay.
Alright, love you.
All right, baby, I love you. See ya. Stupid! Stupid! Nope. Too late, geek. Shame. Shame. It was still it was funny at the time. Oh yeah, no. It's still funny. That's not gonna work. I find myself needing half walls here. But yeah, here, let me re-put the signs back in. You know what? That doesn't need to be like that. It can probably be an open gate. Anyway, let me just tidy this up, and then we have some Kerbal to play now, don't we? Don't we, chat? Yeah, I just wanted to go through and kind of clean this place up, make sure it looks good. I find that putting a bunch of these signs together make a really good half wall. And then just go here and... Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Yep. You know. And we'll just replace the sidewall hangers here temporarily. Well, not actually. This is not temporary. This is sidewall hangers were temporary because I hadn't come up with a good design for this. You might need to put a rule in place to cover launches after 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. with recorded footage. I know it isn't the same as a live launch, but health and happiness are more important. Those, I can prepare myself just fine for those. I understand what you're saying. That's fine. But, okay, so here's the thing about, like, long streaming. People wonder why I can do, like, 10, 15-hour streams. I prepare myself. Like, I don't just sit here. I don't just show up and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let's do a 15-hour stream today. No, I plan. Usually with like long streams and stuff, I try to get sleep, you know, and when the schedule, but sometimes, dude, the schedule's in flux. It's just in flux. There's nothing you can do about it. Like all these rocket scrubs. This stuff does happen. Unfortunately, we've just had an insane amount of them this week. I mean, Falcon Heavy scrubbed on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't even know. You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, no, preparing for a long stream and doing all these crazy long streams, you gotta, it's not just like preparing like, oh, you know, I mean, like, you gotta make sure you have water and coffee and whatnot, right? Like, but it's also like sitting there and building up the mental discipline to do it, you know? Because I don't know about you guys, like, if I go into something and I haven't sat there and like thought about, like, I'm gonna sit here, we're gonna stream for this long, I'm gonna do this in the game, we're gonna play this, we can talk about this, we can, you know, like, if you go in, like, it's when you, if anybody here has ever worked like a dead-end job or a job that you don't really want, right? You know, but what more need than anything, right? Like, you go in and you're like, you don't think about it like from a preemptive point of view, right? You think about, I'm here for 8 hours and I have to freaking go, I have to do all this stuff. All right, I did this task. Is it time to go yet? Like that. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta. That's how I can do long streams. I sit here and I kind of mentally prepare myself. Like, well, when I'm getting ready for work, like, you know, I have a routine waking up. I sit there and I think about what I'm gonna do. You know. Yeah, with that being said, Loopy, yeah, if there's a Starlink at 2, 3 in the morning, no. Yeah, I think we're at that point. But, you know, if there's a Starlink during streaming hours, yeah. But if there, see, like, the reverse of that is that if there's a high-profile launch at 3 in the morning, like, if there was a crew mission at 3 in the morning, yeah, I'd stay up for that. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we'd absolutely stay up for that. I mean, it would bork my sleep schedule, but that's fine. That's okay. No, I want a 2-meter ramp. My subconscious does well at setting up bridge plans for me, and then I just know where the project. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just building up the mental discipline and mental preparedness is that's how I do long streaming. You know, just sit here and get lost in what you're doing. And I mean, have fun too. But everyone says that. Oh, just sit there and remember to have fun. No, I have fun by sitting here and playing what I want to play and talking with you guys. You know, shooting the breeze with people here and, yeah, and stuff like that. That's the secret to doing it, dude. Just have a good plan of attack, and sometimes you got to be flexible. That's all. You got to be flexible, man. I mean, by those, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that I'm not at that point where it's like gonna kill me. You know what I mean? I kind of been doing normie stuff for a little while, and I have to get back in the groove, and maybe I'm getting some turbulence there, you know. But yeah, other than that, all good, man. Good. Oh, that's why I put this ramp here, because there's a boulder. It's just a stupid boulder. What is cursed rock? Oh, that's pretty bad. Pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. Can't afford? Imagine running out of concrete. I'm making some space over here. I'm not exactly sure for what, but I noticed we could put some stuff down here. And, you know, we got some space to work with, so you never know. Do we know what time SpaceX is going to do the booster bidet test today? No, I haven't heard much. Here, let me look. Let me look around. couple hours out. Yeah, give me a second. I can. Dolphins quarterback Jalen Ramsey expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a meniscus injury that will require surgery. How about Burrow? Is Burrow okay, Geek? That you actually reminded me. Okay, it seems like there was an announcement to start clearing the pad about 15 minutes ago. So it's going to be a little bit. Yeah, pray. A couple hours out seems about right. I don't know, but they carted him off. They carted him off with a calf injury yesterday. Did you see the Starship WB-57 footage release? No, Reagan, I have not. You know the next thing I'm going to say. All right, what is this? What do we got? You better not be trolling me, man. Because this footage is actually probably going to be amazing. Exclusive. Starship IFT. So Launchpad's posting this. Thank you for NASA headquarters for the support in releasing this footage to the Launchpad network. Make sure you go over there and support people that are going to go for digging out this footage, guys, okay? Launchpad are good dudes. I know these guys. Or at least I'm pretty sure I do. I think I've met one of them before in real life. So this is from the WB-50. Holy shnikes. Okay. This rocket is... That rocket, first and second stage, is 39 stories tall. So, if you live near a tall building, 39 stories, 39 floors. Okay. Look at how long the flame is. The flame is 50 stories, which is pretty crazy. Zach Albert. Loopy, I'm pretty sure I've met Zach before. I'm just... Actually, I think I met those guys when I was down there with you last time. That was a good while ago, but... Freedom of Information Acts are a pain in the butt, and sometimes they cost money to get stuff released. Definitely support them. For sure. Absolutely. Launchpad are good. They're good dudes. Oof. So, what you're seeing right there, those flashes, is stuff falling off the side of the first stage and getting caught up in the plume and basically immediately incinerated. Those are parts falling off. Whenever you see rocket flames kind of puff like that, that is basically something getting caught in the rocket plume. It could be stuff falling off the side of the rocket. It could be part of the engine failing and pieces of the engine dislodging themselves from inside. It could be that also it could be turbine machinery ingestion, in which case your motor is dead. But yeah, see? The fact that the flames on this footage, it kind of perturbs out the side. See what I mean? How it's kind of on one side? That means it's stuff falling off the side of the rocket. It immediately gets caught in the plume and literally just incinerated. That's awesome. What footage? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, like I said, I saw that HPU fail like during the live shot. I saw the HPU go, but I wasn't entirely sure if it was the HPU, but I knew something was absolutely wrong. The reason why is because it's going too slow. You can tell just by the parallax in the background that this thing is not going very fast. It's losing thrust to weight, and that's because it's basically drifting this way. Because they lost thrust vector control, the rocket's supposed to slowly arch over. But it's not. It's just doing this, and the motors, instead of being used to speed up, are basically just being used to fight gravity. Like, look at the direction of the plume relative to the rocket. They lost TVC. They lost thrust vector control. I mean, that isn't anything we didn't know. But see how the plume is going this way and the rocket's going that way? Yeah, that's not good. This one is close up. Okay. Is this off launch pad as well? I don't want to look at the whole footage. If you guys want to see the whole footage, click on the links in chat, okay? I don't want to watch all of it, but this is fantastic footage. Oh. Yeah, see? See how the flames kind of go out and then down? Yeah, that's no good. Hey, Itzuki. Thank you for the raid. Oh my goodness. What the hell came off over there? Is that just the flare on the lens, or did something separate? I think that just might be a lens flare. So somebody's this footage is manually tracked from a plane with a PTZ camera, pan tilt zoom camera attached to the front. So somebody's manually tracking this, which is just damn impressive. I mean, considering there's a plane with turbulence and whatnot, and this footage is not close to Starship. Holy cow. Here, we'll skip around a little bit. Yeah, see? They triggered the flight termination system. See how you're getting rapid depress from Super Heavy and Starship right there? That's what these two plumes are. The flight termination system got triggered on the IFT flight, and the thing didn't blow up. You dodged a bullet there. Holy cow. Whoa, man. Yeah, see? You can see methane right there, liquid oxygen, or gaseous oxygen right there. That's gaseous methane and gaseous oxygen being outvented. See how there's 4? 1, 2, 3, and 4. The rocket's basically toast at this point. And, yeah. Aerodynamic load will take it out here in a second. But the fact that 39-story... Yep, there you go. The fact that 39-story building is kind of staying together, doing backflips, going like Mach 5 or something, is actually it's a pretty good testament to the structural characteristics of this austenitic stainless steel. I'm pretty sure it's austenite, but yeah, pretty cool. Just means it's built like a tank, pun not intended. And that thing is pretty damn strong to be able to do something like that. What altitude was it at during detonations? Def, I believe it was up over 40 kilometers. The reason why I know that is because I remember people making meme posts on Twix or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and saying that Starship did not fly as high as the N1 rocket. 39-kilometer apogee. Pad is now clear. Gotcha. Did they hit the button and it didn't pop? That's correct, Tessa. They triggered the flight termination system and it didn't do anything. They didn't put enough silly putty on it. They didn't put enough forbidden silly putty on the thing. See, that detonation right there was not a termination system detonation. That was a shear load induced RUD. Crazy, right? The reason why is because they triggered the flight termination system and it blew a hole, but it didn't unzip the tanks. So the tanks were depressurizing, and when the tanks depress, the rocket's going to get super brittle. Well, not brittle, it's going to get flimsy. So the tank pressure was right before it popped, the tank pressure, at least I'm pretty sure this is what happened. I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff. The tank pressure went below a pressure level that's going to allow the rocket to maintain that structural capability, and then stainless steel will shear, and then the rest of the tank pops. I mean, considering this thing, like I said, is flying backwards with 2 gigantic cannonball-sized holes or 4 gigantic cannonball-sized holes in the tanks, alleviating pressure, and it's still staying in one piece is pretty damn impressive. And you can see right when the thing, it's flying backwards, right when it turns kind of perpendicular to velocity one last time, and then it pops. Right there. See? Can't take the shear. Shearing loads. I mean, guys, the thing, how fast do you think the thing's going? 4,000 or 5,000 miles an hour at this point? You know, well, I don't know when this footage, when this footage starts, at what T0 it is, but the thing popped like good while after liftoff. Why won't it blow up? We built it too good. Yeah, crazy, right? Look at all that crap. Nuts. I always kind of am curious to see what happens to a flight terminated rocket. Like, if you could go to down in the ocean and go and find, like, where did the 33 Raptors end up? Like, I wonder if the thrust structure kind of stayed in one piece, and like, I'm wondering if like the bottom of the rocket is sitting at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. The fact that the engines were still running at depress is nuts. Yeah, it's pretty excellent capability right there. It's pretty good. But see, if we want to be cynical about it, Tessa, one could make the argument there that the rocket, the engineering is not very good because it's not very well understood. But the reason why it's not well understood is because, for instance, they hit the abort button and it didn't abort, which is, yeah, I said it at the time. Yeah, you need to fix that. That's not. Yeah, they got lucky. They got lucky that the aerodynamics took it, and that was probably taken into account. If I had to guess, probably took it into account that the aero could. If the flight termination didn't get it, the aero would. Which, yeah, that was right in that assumption. But NSF is up. I know. T-Man. Yeah, I got you. Remember, I'm part of NSF. I can see them getting ready for the stream and stuff. In everyday astronauts footage, it looks like the engines were together and actually slowly flamed out after the explosion. I still gotta go watch Timmy's footage, Reagan. Reagan, you know, I was hanging out with Tim in Amsterdam when we went to the Kerbal 2 pre-release. I already told him, sir. He knows everything. He went over my helmet. The whole valves in TVC, there were whole valves and thrust vector control actuators on eBay. I saw that, Prey. Yeah, somebody linked me that, and they're like, you should buy this. And I'm like, I don't think we should. Does the venting compromise the hull? Well, STX, good question. So, yes it does. Rockets rely on pressure inside of the fuel tanks for structural rigidity. Now, that pressure inside of the fuel tank isn't there just for structural rigidity. You need to generate a good amount of what's called ullage pressure inside of the tank to make sure that the liquids feed the rocket engines correctly. Basically, they have to make it so it forces the liquid has to stay at the bottom of the tank so you can feed the rocket engines. If you think about just like having a tank with a rocket engine below it down here, gravity is going to push all that fuel into the rocket engine. When the rocket's up there flying, the rocket has to stay under acceleration, or else the liquid will just propagate around. That's one of the things that makes restarting an engine in space very difficult. You got to settle your propellants. Now, rockets like the Saturn V, any rocket usually has what's called an ullage motor. Either it's called an ullage motor, or you have reaction control system to settle the propellants before you send it, before you relight the engine. Now, you need that ullage pressure to basically keep the propellants feeding, right? Because even if you stopped and you have good, like you shut the engine off and you have good ullage pressure, the gases and the liquids inside of the engine fuel tanks will just mix around. You don't want that. So that tank ullage is there to make sure that, when you do settle your propellants, they feed correctly. And like I said, it's also used for structural, to maintain structural integrity. Some rockets need residual pressure to stand up straight. Starship is not one of them. Starship can stand up with a depressurized tank because it's made out of stainless, 4 mil thick stainless, which is beefy for a rocket, to say the least. Other rockets like Centaur, a depressurized Centaur will have about the floppy consistency of a deflated balloon. If the tanks aren't pressurized, you have to make sure those tanks are pressurized. Pressurization is the only way a Centaur stage can stand up straight. If you just took a Centaur and kind of propped it up, it'll just crumple like a freaking soda can. Actually, a soda can is a really good way of understanding this. Like if you have a soda pop can like this, right? This thing's open. You can crush this easily. You step on it, it'll just crush it, no problem, right?
Discovery, go and
If
throttle
that
up.
thing is full, you can stand up on it. They figured that out with rockets in the 60s. The chopsticks are moving up. Hey, Adele, what's going on, man? Hey, quick Satisfactory, is that even possible? It's absolutely not. No. Hey, sorry about yesterday, dude. That was my fault. It's getting a little too rowdy. I apologize, dude. I didn't want to. didn't mean to put that on you, dude. Yeah, I was getting a little rowdy. Did like a super long stream, like a 13-hour stream off 4 hours of sleep. So, yeah, I didn't mean to do that, dude. My fault. They are pressurizing the Centaurs before they fill them up before launch? Yeah, in Westigator, they're filled with nitrogen. They fill them with inert gas, so a non-reactive gas. Yeah, fill them with nitrogen. During flight, they don't use nitrogen. It's too heavy. It's not too heavy. It's too high mass. You can use helium and actually get more delta V if you use helium as an ullage gas for pressurization over nitrogen. Falcon 9 does this. Centaur does this. Most modern rockets flying do that. What are you doing in Satisfactory? It looks like you're playing Mirror's Edge. I just finished my smelter arrays, and I wanted to kind of show them off. What do you think? I think it came out pretty good. I wanted to get really warm lighting in here and make it look like it's hot in here. Yeah, these are just 2 smelter arrays. That's the smelter array for aluminum ingots, and this one over here, because I have an alt formula that allows smelters to make aluminum. And then over here we have caterium. It's indoors with vents. I actually did a little bit of research, and my build meta up until this point, guys, was basically buildings that generate emissions shouldn't be inside. So, when I went to do some research for the foundry, for the smelters and stuff, I found that that's not necessarily the case. Most smelters, foundries, Bessemer reactors are a little bit different, but Bessemers are used in making steel. They're usually in like a semi-covered building. Like, you obviously need vents because of all the smoke and stuff. No worries, man. Appreciate you. Some people need to take it down a few notches and have some patience. Hope the launches were good yesterday. Yeah, they were good. We should have a Falcon Heavy tonight, but yeah. Nah, I try not to cause drama, dude. I have rules about that, like on my stream. So when I go and do it in other people's streams, when I go and rock the boat like that, I feel bad. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for understanding. Yeah. The raid got a little rowdy when we went into Etel's chat last night. It's because I hadn't slept in a little while, dudes. But anyway, yeah. So I decided to switch this up, switch my build meta rules a little bit, and say that like smelters and foundries can be inside of covered buildings, but they need to be covered vented. So like we have an angular roof, right? And the vents are on the left side of the angular roof. So in reality here, the smoke would go up and it would go that way. And that would end up creating like a draft in here. And it creates circulation inside of the building. But yeah, you don't want generally don't want smelters like just out in the open. I mean, you can, but we spent about an hour yesterday looking at steel mills and stuff, and like how heavy industrial manufacture of like steel and copper and everything, how that all kind of goes together. And these were the buildings that we came up with. Yeah, Artusis, yeah, there you go. That beamwork in there is sick. Thanks, man. Nearly boat we're rocking here is Gene Haas. We could have looked like a bunch of rock stars, Gene. Instead, we look like a bunch of wankers. Attention, Starbase. The entire pad is now clear. All personnel, please exit the pad now. Has been playing on repeat over the PA system for the past several minutes if you want to switch over. It's your fault, I'm still hearing it. Sorry, man. Just want to make one or two little touch-ups here to the smelter. We finished everything that I wanted to get done, but do one or two things here, and then, yeah. We'll switch over to Starbase footage. SpaceX is testing out their deluge system today. So we're gonna see the space bidet do its thing. I might double box it for the time being, dudes. I wanted to put a staircase over here. Damn you, Artusis, why would you do this? Dude, that train car system yesterday is pretty cool. Dude, there's stuff like that out there, dudes. You know, like, the whole point, and T-Man, part of the reason why I find that stuff so ridiculously cool is because, you know, like, this stuff is out there and it exists. Somebody thought of that. Like, that's fascinating to me that I sit here on, like, you know, this is going to sound a little screwed up, especially coming from me. It's fascinating that stuff like that exists and I'm just sitting here on my computer all day. Like, you know, I think it's important to know why we're able to sit here on our computer all day and have this fun, like, have the fun that we have and do what we do. It keeps you honest, you know what I mean? And I think that's important to understand. So, seeing stuff like that is just wild. Like, that's very, very wild to me. Like, that somebody sat there and thought all that stuff up. I think it's really, really freaking cool. You know, like, man, we sit here on the computer all day, and that's fine, like, nothing wrong with that, but, you know, stuff like that exists, too. Like, I guess the kind of implication there is that, you know, like, once again, keep everything in perspective, and, you know, you can go out and make cool stuff like that, too. Like, you know, you go to school, engineering, you can design stuff like that, which is really neat. If I have to suffer, so do you. Someone in NSF chat said drone was going up. I don't know if that's true, but I trust NSF chat with every ounce of my being. Okay. I'll double box this, dudes.
Works before the engines light.
There's my
So I
boy
can
Alex.
imagine that in that seconds that it is running, there's some water that needs to go somewhere else, and that's probably why they have that pond there.
Yeah.
That's my total guess.
Is a balance between you only have so much water in storage, right? Like you can only put out so much water and you only have so much pressure to drive the water. Even if you have enough water stored for 3 splashes, I don't know. I want to see what this looks like so I can come up with a better term for it. But even if you have 3 water tanks full, I'm just making this number up. If you only have enough pressure at one time to run it, and then it takes 30 minutes to build up pressure again so that you can try again, you still have to be cognizant of exactly how you use that pressure and water, right? So you want it to start so the flow.
Wait, you gotta refill it, Das? No! When did they start doing this?
Rocket, but you don't want it to run out before the rocket gets far enough away. Really interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I wonder if we will see like a full duration test of like 10, 15, like how long do you need it? We know the lead up time to launch was like 6-7 seconds, right? Of hold before they really had it going, and then of course there's a time when the rocket is still firing at it while it's still going up. So you probably
I like
need,
putting the equipment shops in here.
15 seconds of this just spool at least.
For this launch, Elon says they want to have it like within 3 seconds, just like Falcon 9. Because I believe the first launch they
Just make sure those aren't popping out the front.
for a little bit to let the engines ramp up and be more.
Yeah, I don't
Because
see
the
that.
problem with the
I don't
first
want
launch
that.
is every single different engine was very, very wildly different.
Just spray ocean water at
So
it.
they wanted to have them all sort of like
5 head.
equal, while also not igniting 3 of them, but it's okay. And yeah, it's probably why they might not run it for that long next time. Is that a drone to the right, or is that?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it
that's
is
a drone.
now there next to me.
Yep, there's a DJI up there. Drone is on camera. See someone? That was a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, we heard an announcement earlier before that they would start drone operations, which was kind of like the first announcement we got today. So this is probably part of that. Not only filming, but they also use drones for like side checking. If there's like not only the object checking, but also if it's clear. It gives you another remote way to check the side. So that's probably also related to this.
Thank you, NSF chat.
Interesting
Very
question here
cool.
by Musical Wolves in the $2 super chat. Is this a splash up or a splash down?
Yes.
I mean, is that venting from a nitrogen tank?
They have moved the quick disconnect on the arm.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
This looks good, dudes. I don't know if we should put something in that negative space right there.
No,
What time is the launch supposed to be today? Gek, hi by the way. We're looking at
test other things as well, because there's no way that the ship QD is needed for this test, right? There's no connection.
hang on.
So
I can't see the
probably
clock
just
because it's
thought like,
on
hey,
the
we
other
have this
thing.
clear anyway, so why not
It's
test other things?
1:53 right now. I gotta get my phone. Hang on.
Interesting. Nice thing to happen. I also say it's a splash up, just to answer that question.
Splash up. Adrian, the problem with that is the splash up sounds stupid. It should be awesome. It's like a rocket system to keep the pad from being destroyed. You can't be like, oh yeah, we do it.
It's 1:54.
I think it's
We
more
got about
like
9 hours
like
until
some
Falcon Heavy.
science fiction shields, you know, like these particle shields. This is how I imagine. Maybe that's me.
Can I suggest a name?
Go ahead.
Maybe, Jack. What's the name?
Geyser Raider. I don't know.
Geyser Raider.
Okay. Hey, that's Jack. Wow. Yeah, we'll see. We'll move the naming discussion for later once we have seen the full system, so we can properly evaluate. We've
Someone,
not
I
seen
like what
any
you said. I like call it the
indication
bidet. I
they've
think
started
calling
the
it the
flow
bidet is funny.
yet. Although the pad looks clear. Like, I've not seen any other person running around,
Yeah.
so
One
that's at
thing-
least good.
One thing probably worth to remind here, because we have a lot more people now that we talk about this. There's an alarm going on right now at the pad. That is the pad clear alarm. The sort of PA announcement is saying, you know, get out of the pad.
Can we just
and
call it
everything, like,
banana
clear the
plate?
pad, 'cause they're gonna do the test.
Should I grab a towel for this?
Yeah,
I would.
We've listened to that already before and sort of tried to make out what it is all about.
There's suggestions coming in, and some of them I won't read. Let me thank some people here, because there's members here that join our membership program, which
Frank?
gives you behind-the-scenes pictures,
I hear
amazing
Frank.
perks, pictures, and Discord access, which is very, very cool. So I want to thank some people here. Jim Cavett
Frank.
gifting a Red Team membership, thank you for that. Christopher Martin becoming a Red Team member. That gives you access to the pictures on the channel, so thank you for
You heard
that.
the pad clear alarm and
We
you thought it
also
was
have,
coming from
Steve as
your
a Pad
street
Red member.
outside.
Thank you so much. And Joanne with becoming a Capcom member. So make sure to connect your Discord with your YouTube account so you can join the NSF Discord, which is, again, I think a really amazing place. I love it a lot. So
It's a good time.
Also Moldy coming here with a $10 super chat saying, Jack has my support for Gazerator.
I agree.
The Geyserator.
Yeah. It's support is coming in here for different
You know what?
different
Hang on.
just
I gotta
raising
say
money for
something to
some
them.
bubbles after the test. There's some good
Give me 1 second,
suggestions
dudes.
here coming in. Let me ask some questions here. Let me see. David Edwards asking, is that Booster 9 on the OLM for this test? Yes. That's Booster 9. They put a booster on it. I wonder, that's an interesting thing we can discuss. Did they put the Raptor platform, like the dance floor, up to protect the Raptors for this test?
I think that's a possibility. It's like a big splash preventer, I guess, a splash shield.
Well,
Yeah,
it was already
maybe just
up
a
for
big-
the pressure, for the partial one.
Maybe they just put a big tarp there. I don't know.
I mean, they put a bunch of tarp stuff on lots of stuff. Like the doghouse just got lifted over yesterday, and they put a tarp over that, and there's a tarp on where the lines go in. There's lots of tarpage going on.
Yeah.
Boba Chica, sponsored by Tarp.
Yeah, but it's worth remembering that, yeah, this platform was already up as well when they did the partial pressure test without the booster, so it might just be that it's up because it's up. It could probably be removed.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I could see a reality where they want to protect some hardware here. I mean, I don't know if Raptor engines are sensible to water. I mean, it could be.
Did you just share
But
bidet
so-
with them?
In-
No.
In a launch scenario, they would provide thrust, so they would fire against the water, so they wouldn't come in
No.
contact with it. So,
I mean, if you really want to know, I just shot a message to Jack saying Geyserator is good, but it needs a number after it. It needs to be Geyserator 9001.
From the partial pressure test, they didn't seem to be pointing at them. They were going sideways, like
Yeah.
at an angle.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember that they're testing this system full
Yeah.
up for the first
It
time.
needs a
Like,
number.
That's the whole plan.
Geyserator needs a
So
number
It
after
makes
it.
sense to take some extra precautions that might not be.
Sorry,
needed
it's the booster
when
and
they're actually
rocket.
going for
It's
launch.
it's
Like,
the
right now
booster
they're
or
just
rocket
seeing if there's an
bidet.
errant, drilled hole
Okay,
or
that's
something
fair.
that would spray right into the injector plate of a Raptor or something like that. You want that to hit the dance floor, the bottom of the dance floor, instead of it hitting the Raptor itself, right? So maybe it's just an overabundance of caution. I was going to say not something we normally see from SpaceX, but maybe it's just an overabundance of caution.
Stepped
here
away
to
for a
protect,
second, see
put a
last.
little bit of
Does the
extra
booster
protection
bidet have
on
its
the
own
end
nitrogen tank?
between
Yeah.
the water plate and the
It's a gas sound suppressor of someone, so you can have a sound suppressor that's just a gravity feed using Archimedes' principle to create your hydraulic pressure, right? So a water tower, right? You can do that. Or you can have a nitrogen tank that pumps into the water tank, and I call it a gas purge system, but it's gas purging is not like the technical definition. I learned this the last time I gave this explanation. They basically they use gas to create a siphon, and it shoots the water onto the pad with gas that's being pressurized. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's tying into like the existing nitrogen tanks. I think it might have its own. You could call it a super soaker. It's literally a big super soaker. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's a big super soaker. Okay. All right. I think we're good here. Yeah, we need a little bit of lighting. So if you paste the settings before the light gets placed down fully, it doesn't carry it over. I'm just trying to add some detail to this, just in case. Not just in case, I just want it to look nice. Very high flow rate gas typically has its own challenge. Has its own challenges. Yep. Yeah. I think putting the equipment workshops down here on the edges, I think makes it look nice. It makes it look cool. Looks like we have a machine shop. What I'm wondering is, the pressure from the deluge spraying up will have to combat the pressure coming down from the engines. Well, Geek, that's not... I'm not going to sit here and say that that's some simple task to solve, but at the same time, if you think about it, one's gas, the other one isn't. The pressure coming out of the rocket engines is gas. Pressure coming out of the sound suppressor is liquid. It might not be as hard as, you think. That's a non-regulation pathway width, though. You think Sposha is going to get mad? Like, you can use hydraulic pressure to your advantage. But you're absolutely right. Like, there is going to be a point of pressurization under the pad. And you're definitely going to create ripples in the water during during initial start. That's why when rockets turn on, you see that huge freaking plume of smoke come out, right? I'm sure there's some crazy thing with like overpressure events versus sound suppressors versus like water pressure versus, dynamic pressure coming out the back of the rocket. Like, I'm sure there's some formula there to figure it out, but yeah. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and say that if your water pressure system probably doesn't need to be that high. It just needs to be higher than, like, the gaseous, the pneumatic pressure that's being exerted on the valves on the bidet to open, I think. Pray, the exhaust pressure is rather low. It's more about the total force coming from the engines divided by the area of the plate. Yeah, I mean, that's not even... I wasn't even getting into like thermals and stuff. The thermal question is a whole nother thing to answer, right? Like, the water will have momentum though. People aren't taking that into account. It has momentum and it's incompressible. So yeah, I mean, some stuff to consider. I think as long as your hydraulic pressure is exceeding the pneumatic pressure encountered, yeah. But even if it's like a push, because gas is compressible, right? And water isn't. You probably have, it's probably a little advantageous there in that regard. But I'm not like 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that sounds right. I'm actually just looking for more things to change here. So let's, I can already see it. I'm just looking, I'm like, oh yeah, we could upgrade that. We can make this look better. We can make this look better. That's the thing. You don't simply just, like you guys are saying, right? You don't just upgrade one thing with this game. That's not how that works. So we have Star Raker to make in Kerbal. So I'm going to just finish up what I was doing here, and yeah, we're out. How does that work when your hydraulic fluid is gas, in the sense that they're pushing the water with nitrogen? Good question. That's a good question. My guess is that because it's a gas siphon, so because it's a siphon, right? You basically use the gas to start the siphon, and then the water will do the rest of the work for you. You'll maintain water pressure through the siphon, like trying to siphon fuel out of a car. All you got to do is just give it a little, pull the gasoline through the straw, and then you're good, right? Like then it'll just keep doing its thing. My guess is that it works like that, but it's just a guess. Hey Postal, ad time. Okay, I'm gonna run an ad, guys. It's a channel point redeem. Be back in a second. And if you're still here, hi. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. They actually have anti-siphon. There's an equation you can use that takes the pressure difference between the 2 points and the non-dimensional flow resistance, and the density gives you the mass flow rate. You can set up systems of equations to solve the pressure drop between 2 different points. Cool. It's not a siphon, they're using the kink as a gravity-based valve. Yeah, Aqualex, I had somebody else in here who I know knows what they're talking about call it a gas siphon the other day, and that honestly confused me because I thought they were just back pressurizing a water tank with nitrogen to get it to geyser. But I don't know. Like that's what I got confused, and I have to go read more about it now. But that's okay. Hey Dizor, hey Jackery, how you doing? Guys, I'm just going over the stuff that I did in Satisfactory yesterday. We played really late last night, and I wanted to make sure that everything looked nice. I want to play Kerbal today. But yeah, I think these are all set, and let me just go make sure that the belts, we have the feed belts and everything working. The Kink has anti-siphoning vents installed, so the water flow at least can't siphon. KSP1, Jackery. I want to make Star Raker. Star Raker is one of those projects that I never got around to doing in KSP1. It's cool. Yeah, Star Raker is basically like if you took a C5 Galaxy, like a gigantic cargo plane, the space shuttle, and an SR-71, and combined them all into one vehicle. You think I'm kidding? Check this thing out. It was a concept that was proposed by Rockwell in the 70s. It has 10 liquid hydrogen turbo ramjets. So hydrogen-fueled SR-71 motors, for the most part. And this thing would have taken off like a regular airplane, right? Takes off like a regular airplane. It would have had jettisonable landing gear, right? And then on the back, you have your 10 exhausts for your hydrogen J58s, I'll say, right? And then you have 3 shuttle engines in the back, 3 RS-25s and 2 AJ-10s for ohms thrusters. This thing is basically, don't necessarily think space shuttle, but this is, yeah, that's basically the shuttle's engine section right there with the ohms pods, so to speak, right? And then in front of it is an external tank, the ET. Yeah, the external tank. So Star Raker has, the engines that are underslung, right? The underslung jet engines. And then you have a shuttle engine section here underneath the rudder and the 2 ohms pods, and then you have an external tank right here. And then in front of the ET is a gigantic payload bay. And then you have these giant delta wings for the plane parts. To put payload in and out of the thing, it does something. Oh, there it goes. Sorry about that. Really wish it didn't blow out the mic like that, but yeah, that was bad. I'm trying to get it on the big box, dudes. That was loud. Sorry about that, guys. Wow. That was a lot of water, man. Yeah, see the nitrogen? There's gaseous nitrogen coming out the side there. I would not want to use this as a bidet.
All right, y'all.
I didn't expect that to be that freaking loud and blow out the mic, but
Open for business.
I apologize if I've hurt anybody's
Look at
ears.
that, like, deluge tank farm.
Wow.
I think they may have sprung a leak, Prey. Either that or... Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Mop. Water in ignition. What? I don't know if that sprung a leak because it closed. Here, let me back it up a little bit.
It's not here.
I'm gonna keep the audio low.
That's a problem. We are definitely.
Well, let me watch the whole thing. I didn't think it was gonna happen that quick.
Big noise is coming. Look.
I'm just watching.
It looks
No,
like
that
exciting.
Pray that wasn't. That's a valve. It's a valve. That was closed. It was closed. Yeah. Someone. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this has its own nitrogen tank. I think that's safe to say. There's a nitrogen tank for the sound suppressor that is working independently of the main nitrogen tanks on the tank farm, but I will bet you that nitrogen tank at the tank farm can feed this system. Question about Star Raker, how does it land? It lands like an airplane. Yeah. So that was the deluge test right there. Yeah. That was crazy. That was a pretty absurd amount of water being shot out there. Wow. Every time I hear that, I think of Moonraker. Yeah. There's definitely going to be some challenges with making something like Star Raker, Chief, but I think we can do it. Nice. Thoughts on how effective this will be? I don't know. I don't know, dudes. I think, yeah, Dave, I think that's fair to say. I think it'll be better than nothing. So, kind of something that I've noticed here. It looks like the system is not primed initially. Like there's like a valve that's holding back the water before it enters into the pad plates. Because look, it takes a second to saturate and then boom, see what I'm talking about? It takes a second for the pneumatic pressure that's back purging the water to build up. So it took a second. That means that there's no water in the pad, like in the pad plates. It's being held back somewhere else. It's interesting. It almost seems like as opposed to slowly purging the system, they increase the pressure a bit at the start to act as a purge, and then send it. I mean, that might be someone I'm guessing. I'm guessing. So this is just me theorizing. I'm not like 100% familiar with how the sound suppressor works, but you might need to open the nitrogen first and pressurize the water tank before you open up the valves to the pad. So because it might take a second, either that or they're opening them all up at the same time. If they open everything up at the same time, I'm not sure that'll work. Like with a gas, if it was me, I would turn the gas tanks on, get your pressure for like a split second because you don't want to shock load any valve or anything, and then open another valve and then send it. But even then, it's going to take a second for the water to fill up the system and pressurize inside of the plate and then shoot out. Because it seems like there's valves on the plate. There's passive valves. And the passive valve closes with gravity pushing down on it, right? But then when pressure happens behind that valve, that's when it opens up. The valves can kind of just sit there and move up and down. You could like pick one up from what I can tell. 100%. I sent that before I heard you say, hey, don't worry. I'm very much just guessing. Yeah, I'm not 100%, dude, but either way, cool test. Very cool test. All right. I didn't think that would happen that quickly, so let's we could switch gears and start trying to make this thing. I gotta turn off the double monitor there. Okay, yeah, we'll start making that. But I think we're good. The foundries look really nice. By the way, if you know, does NSF have a public Discord? Or is it only for channel members? I think it's only for channel members, dude. The old steam water systems on ships. Okay, Zeppelin, what's that? With the old steam water systems on ships, we always opened the downstream valves first before the main high pressure valves. But that was an old ship. Zeppelin, it's probably not too far off. But then again, you know, nitrogen isn't steam, but yeah. That's the kink. It keeps the water in the tank until it operates. Otherwise, there are no valves on the water lines from the tank to the pad. The pressure comes from the... Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I see what you're saying, Aqualux. There's like almost like a trap from like a toilet bowl or a sink or something, right? Is that what we're talking about? Something like that? It is. This was an old procedure. Things have changed. Yeah, Zeppelin said he wasn't... I mean, that's how it was done with a similar system. But yeah, thanks, Chief. Alright. I don't think we need this foundation here, so... Alright, I did what I want to do. I'm trying to stop. Okay, alright, that's enough. That's enough. I really want to keep playing, though, but that's okay. I also really want to play KSP, so... Let's just find a nice, cozy spot to set up shop, and then we're done here, mate. Whoa. That's the smelter arrays, 2 of them. Cool. Found something I'd hang on your wall. Zay, it isn't a Aegina upper stage by any chance, is it? Florida, I didn't know about the King and how it worked. Just that they go low pressure first in order to avoid any sort of shock loading. Perchance? Yeah. Alright. Let's switch this over to KSP. Just changing up the title, dudes.